welcome back to another episode of the What Was That podcast. I'm Jazzy.
And I'm Addi.
We have a lot of new subscribers here who may not know how we met. We work together.
Yeah, our desks are about as close together as we are now.
Yeah. So close together. Never apart.
Never. Okay.
Ooh.
Somebody get it on Broadway.
Really good. Do you want to go do karaoke again?
I do, actually, but I don't want to get drunk.
No Mexican candy shots.
No shots in general.
No
I don't
shots
think
at
I'll
all.
ever take a shot again. I mean, I took a shot last night.
Literally last night. I was like, yeah, me either. I took 4 last night.
No, I probably will not take any, shots again.
Yeah.
Yeah. For a long time. Mm-hmm. I can't say ever, because I'll probably do some on my wedding day.
As you
bachelorette party.
As you do.
Yeah.
It's a special occasion.
Yeah, our desks are about as close together as we are now.
Oh, that's so cute for us. I do spend the majority of my day bothering Addison, and I honestly can't help it. I am a workplace distraction.
Yeah, but it keeps the day interesting. But not as interesting as some of these stories. Scary work stories.
Scary workplace.
Ooh.
Story 1. Never. Mm-hmm.
Never.
Okay. Okay. Story 1. Long haul truckers. What's the creepiest / most paranormal thing you've seen? Blah, 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 blah.
It's like the Pink Panther. He's like, I would like to order 1 hamburger. That movie's so good.
I need to, see it again. I haven't seen it since Blockbuster was a thing.
We watched it, I shit you not, 2 months ago.
Really?
Yeah.
It holds up well.
It's a pretty staple. It's not, the first time we've watched it either.
Yeah.
We've watched it quite a few times since we've lived in this house.
Nice.
So,
I want Pink Panther as my Halloween costume.
Yeah, you did tell me that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Long haul truckers. What's the creepiest / most paranormal thing you've seen on the road at night? A good friend of mine told me this story years ago. He's a stereotypical old big bad trucker. I've seen some weird stuff with him driving in South Texas along the border. He never batted an eye, but while telling me this story, he had goosebumps and a concerned expression, which from this guy is about the equivalent of a trembling lip and shit-stained pants. Okay. I'm just imagining the tough guy on SpongeBob with his mustache.
Yeah. He just has small goosebumps, but in SpongeBob they zoom in on it, and all those goosebumps would be shivering.
I'll tell this story in first person as he told it to me. Years ago in the late 90s, I was on my way from the house in Central Texas, heading to
Laredo
to pick up a load. It was early morning around 4 or 5. I had just caught off a string of days at home, so I know I wasn't tired. I'm on one of those 2-lane winding roads in the absolute middle of bumfuck nowhere when I see something on the side of the road at the edge of my high beams. At first, I just thought it was roadkill, as is usually the case. As I get closer, I see that it's roadkill, and there's something crouching over the deer carcass. I remember thinking that either this guy's taking the antlers as a trophy or he's fucking sick. As I got closer, I can now see that the guy's eating the fucking deer. He's pulling chunks of meat from the stomach and bringing them up to his face. Oh, I didn't read this morning. At this point, he stops mid-motion and looks up at me. Not at my truck, but at me. He/it stands up. That's when I see that it's huge, brown, and covered in hair. I remember thinking at this point, oh fuck. This thing standing on the tiny shoulders looking at me. By this point, maybe 3 seconds have passed, and I'm about to get to the point in the road where he's standing at. I didn't even think of stopping. In fact, I'm starting to lay on it and get the hell out of there. As I'm passing it, it's looking at me again, not the truck. It's looking through the driver's windshield at me. He obviously has the intelligence to know that there's a driver in there and knows where I'm sitting. As I start to pass him, I see its head above the... of an old needle-nosed Pete. Okay, I'll just say that. I don't know what it means. As I start to pass him, I can still see its head over the hood of an old needle-nosed Pete. Oh, it's an old truck. Wow, look at that being in parentheses. Asking you shall receive. This thing is fucking giant. I remember seeing what looked like human intelligence in his eyes, and it scared the shit out of me. TLDR, Bigfoot, maybe? Eating a deer on the side of the road.
Ew.
Ew, story 2.
Okay, because, I mean, I don't know. What the fuck is that? Yeah, what? It had to be either a monster or a really disturbed person. Like,
Did you watch Extreme Couponers?
yes.
There's a guy who, maybe it wasn't Extreme, it was like Extreme Cheapskates or something
Yes.
like that. Where he's like, oh yeah, roadkill, bada boom, bada bing. Slice
Yeah.
it up. I'm like, what if this guy was like, why wait? Let me eat some of it now.
Ugh, but see, okay.
He's like, it's basically like deer tartare.
No, okay. Eating roadkill, like, especially in some communities where poverty is really high, is normal. Like, totally normal.
It's meat, bada boom.
It's meat. You take it
Yeah.
home, you cook all of the parasites, you cook all of the, like, bacteria and bad things that could be in it out. You cook the fuck out of it and you eat it. It's food. Whatever. Eating deer tartare on the side of the road where flies have been landing in that carcass and laying their little eggs that become nuggets. Yeah, it's disgusting. If you guys have ever read Butcher and Blackbird.
I hate maggots.
Yeah, orzo pasta. Is it pasta? Is orzo?
Is orzo, yeah, it's
Is pasta,
It's
okay.
a rice-shaped pasta.
Yeah, so...
You know, I haven't had orzo since I read that book, and I used to eat it a lot, and I think it's my subconscious being like,
Yeah, anything that's
grab
like
a different noodle.
maggot shaped.
Any other noodle.
Yeah, especially, I mean, it's so hard for me to like eat anything like rice or anything from a restaurant because there's weevils that get into rice and flour.
Oh.
You know what those are?
I've seen a weevil.
Yeah.
But I didn't think about that.
Yeah, they get in. That's why you're supposed to like put your flour like either in an airtight container or like I keep mine in the freezer because it keeps weevils away. But yeah, like rice is the same way. If you leave it out, it can get weevils. And so whenever I eat rice from restaurants, it makes me like feel weird.
There's extra protein in there.
And now I'm definitely not going to eat it. Because that's all I'm going to hear in my head now. No, this is disgusting. And if it's a monster, ew.
Super gross.
Super gross. You should not be a monster
Also
anymore.
Dangerous. You should take your dinner and not eat it on the side of the road because you might get hit by a car.
Do you remember that Bigfoot book that I told you about?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. So it's hard for me to be like, yeah, this is Bigfoot because the Bigfoot in those books are mammoths. Like they're huge. And I feel like this thing is probably big. Maybe it's a baby Bigfoot. Are there baby Bigfoots?
I imagine they don't just like come out as like fully formed Bigfoot, so there's got to be a baby version.
Okay, here's a question. So smut aside, okay, removing the smut out of our brains. Try to do that.
Extract.
Oh my god! You know what I just realized? Those beams have the wood says February 24th, 2005. Anyway, sorry. Wow. Do you think that Bigfoots like out in the wild do the dirty and like
that's
have
the Bigfoot calls that people hear. That's actually what that is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're.
Are you being like
it.
serious? Or...
I'm totally kidding. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, because I do wonder, like all the monsters out there. So, because there's so many of them, how do they become those monsters? Like, do they do the deed, and that's how they?
I imagine it's like the salmon run, where all the Bigfoot follow a river and they converge in one
one
lake.
area. Yeah, and they all just go crazy
It's
for a little bit.
Bigfoot orgy.
A Bigfoot, a borgy.
Yep.
There's something pokey in my sleeve, that's why I'm messing with it. Yeah, a borgy, if you will. They all meet up and have a big hairy fuck fest.
Us removing the smut from our mind. Clearly.
No, but it's a genuine thought, because like, how do monsters stay populated?
Well, there's that one movie about Wendigos. I think this might be what it's called. I don't know if I'm remembering this movie correctly now that I'm thinking about it.
Cool.
I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you thinking about
there's like
antlers?
Maybe antlers.
Because
how they become.
They become it after they're like.
That's
bitten.
what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah, or like they like get infected or like attacked and then they become one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe that.
Yeah, kind of like vampire adjacent.
Kicked by a Bigfoot.
Kicked?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The foot contact will then make your feet really big.
I would think more like if they like touch you and their like hair gets on you, it just kind of like spreads. You know how like a mole like will get a little bit of hair on it?
Yeah.
It's like that one point of contact just like sprouts a little lump of hair and you're like, oh, that's weird. I didn't used to have hair there. And then like every day you get hairier and hairier until one day you're like Cousin It.
Just running through the forest.
Just hair shimmying everywhere, and then you're over by a carcass eating a deer on the side of the road, but nobody can tell that it's you because it's just a full length of hair.
What a nightmare, because I have curly hair. What a nightmare to detangle if all of me is hair.
It'd be so matted.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd be like, all right, give me the, you know how like dogs get the, they're like butts shaved so they don't get poop on them?
Yeah.
I'd be like,
we need to
give me the...
You gotta trim it right above my butt. Yeah. My sister got a hair mat one time so bad that they had to buzz her hair off.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because she like wouldn't brush her hair. So,
that'll do it.
Yeah, she had to get like really short hair.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would look like my brother with short hair.
Yeah.
No, brother.
I've heard a lot of like scary trucker stories. Like there's a lot out there on Reddit and also just people on TikTok and stuff posting that a lot of scary stuff happens. And I will say a lot of the scary stuff that they do see typically is of people, like actual scary people.
Yeah.
But there are some scary stories about supernatural stuff too.
Yeah, just a bit unexplained.
Yeah.
But I feel like the people's stories are scarier than the paranormal and the unexplained.
Yeah, people's stories I feel like are always scarier because it's, you know that it's real. Mm-hmm. Like last night when we were in the haunted house, the only part that I got even like remotely scared at was we went into this room right before the end of the first leg of the haunted house and it was full of fog. Like, literally the entire room was full of fog, and it was one big strobe light that lit up the whole room, and there was, like, a big cage in the middle with a woman inside, and, like, you could not see anything in this room besides, like, and the strobe light was slow, too, so it was, like...
Ooh, spooky.
Like, it was, like, very slow, so you could not see anything besides, like, your hand right in front of your face because of how foggy it was. And they were, like, not directing anybody, so I could not see where I was going. And I was, like, I did not know how to get out of the room. So I was, like, feeling along the wall the whole time. And I was like, no, it's not that way. No, it's not that way. Yeah. And I have asthma. So I was like, I'm going to die. Yeah. Like, I can't get out of this room. I can't see. I can't breathe right now. Like, I'm choking. And so I was, like, starting to panic a little bit trying to get out. And then finally I found, like, the door that, like, pushed out to get outside. And I walked out and I was like, I didn't like that.
Yeah,
and Quinn was like,
too much.
He was like, oh yeah, you got scared? I was like, yeah, that actually genuinely scared me because it was real. Like, it was something asphyxiating me. I was dying. I felt like I was going to die. Yeah. So that scared me. But anything else, like all the actors and stuff, that doesn't scare me.
Right.
It doesn't get me. The little jump scares don't get me. Like...
Yeah.
You know?
It'll be like ooh, that was a good one. But I'm usually, like, proud of them for committing to character.
Yeah.
I'm like, good job, buddy.
Will say the illusion was broken twice right off the bat. So when we first walked in, there was a group of young, like, 12, 13-year-old girls right in front of us throughout the line and then into the haunted house.
Okay.
And there were 4 of them, and they were already scared outside with the actors walking around. And so we got inside, and it was right off the entrance. The girl started screaming because there was an animatronic right in front of, like, where you walk in. And there was a guy behind us who, like, let us in, and he was in character. And Quentin starts laughing really loud because the girl's already screaming. And he was like, we have entertainment the whole way. And the actor was like, I love this shit. He was like, that's my favorite right there. And Quentin was like, yeah. He was like, we get to follow him the whole way. Yeah. And the guy was like, yeah, I love that shit. Have fun.
It's so funny.
I was like, okay. Suspended disbelief, like, gone right now.
Totally gone, yeah.
And then we were, like, walking behind them, and probably 5 minutes later, so all of the actors, obviously, were, like, jumping out and scaring them, but then they were, like, following them, so we were just following the scare actor. Like, they were, like, walking in front of us, like, being all creepy, and multiple times they, like, turned around and they were like, oh! Like, we scared them! Because they didn't expect us to be behind them. Because we gave, like, big gaps, because, like, we wanted to not be right up against them the whole time. Right. So we were just, like, walking real slow, like, looking at everything. But there was this one time that this girl was, like, going up and scaring them, and she was dressed up as a crazy patient or something. Mm-hmm. And I guess her phone fell out of her pocket.
Oh, shit.
And she, like, so she was scaring them. And after the girls went around the corner, she, like, reached down for her phone and picked it up and turned around, and she went like this. And she goes, ah! Both of us were like, cool. And just, like, walked around her. I was like, damn, like, so twice. So these people have been like, oh, actually, we're real people.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, so it was really funny. But the whole time we were, like, trailing behind groups that had people following them, and they turn around and they'd be like, brah! We're like, we already saw you, man. Like, get out of here.
I went to a haunted house in, essentially, like, it used to be a JCPenney, and now it wasn't anything, so they're like, let's make it a haunted house.
Yeah.
So it still has all the display cases and racks in there. Yeah. So we're going through it, and we're like, okay, like, this is cute. Like, they're trying. There's a fog machine, sure. Yeah. And then there's this guy who, like, runs out of nowhere and then just, like, crashes into one of the, like, jewelry display cases. And I was like, this haunted house is really good. Yeah. And I was like, how are they going to reset this for the next people? And then I realized he doesn't move. And then I see, like, one of the people come over with a walkie-talkie, like, hey, we need some help over here. And I was like, oh shit. Yeah. Oh, shit. Damn. This guy really could. To be fair, it was really good. Best haunted house I've ever been to.
Because of that one spot.
He really committed.
Yeah. I think that there need to be more liminal space haunted houses, because I feel like liminal spaces are really scary, and there's not any haunted houses that kind of follow that, like, backrooms vibe, you know? Yeah. Like, having it in a JCPenney where it's all, like, we were I mean, not like this, but we were joking in line last night about how they need to make haunted houses based off of, like, real stuff. Like, you walk into a room and it's, like, Severance, and there's, like, the bright overhead lights and the drop tile ceilings and people, like, sitting at their computers, and somebody's, like, playing solitaire, and the manager comes up from behind, they're like, you need to be working. And then, like, the next room is, like, you're supposed to go up and, like, pay your taxes.
That'd be so funny.
But I think in that same breath, like, a liminal space where you walk in and it's, like, a vast room with, like, drop tiles and, like, fluorescent lights and, like, nothing, but there's no doors, and, like, the one door leads into another room that's just like it. I think
I think that would be really cool. Yeah, like, if they took that JCPenney's, literally just made it a JCPenney's. Yeah. And then made that itself creepy.
Yeah.
I think
like you're locked
right.
into in a JCPenney that's been abandoned. That's scary.
Yeah.
Like I don't need another hillbilly podunk farm with radioactive people. Like I don't need another insane asylum hospital. Like I've been through that. Give me an IKEA locked in. Give me an office
can't leave
space
until you assemble this dresser.
Give me a parking garage. Like give me something that's not
honestly like a parking garage where like nothing's in there. It's just
parking garage.
And it's like find your car.
Yeah. It's like 50 floors high. Murder! Yeah. In the back seat. Sorry, you should have checked. No, I also told Quentin last night, I was like, we should open a year-round haunted house.
That'd be so fun.
And he was like, that's too much work, and you like wouldn't make enough money to make it a thing. And I was like, okay, there are no other haunted houses that are open year round.
Right.
Like this, I mean, besides like McCamey Manor, which is not a haunted house at all. You sure? Do you know what McCamey Manor is? Oh, McCamey Manor. I was like, do you know what it is?
Yeah. It's like, okay, yeah.
It's that guy who has a haunted house. It's not a haunted house. It is literally like he takes a person in and tortures them for hours.
You've told me about this. Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with
very
the house.
strange.
Yeah. But I think I'm like it would be one of the only places people are like always talking about how they want to go to haunted houses all year.
The people yearn for them.
I yearn for them. I'm like, I would keep myself in business.
Yeah.
So if you could only imagine, and if you made it affordable, like, okay, imagine, so right now, haunted houses are like, trademarking this, bitch.
Patent pending.
Haunted houses right now, they charge like $50 plus a ticket.
Yeah.
Right? So imagine you have a year or full year-long haunted house. You may be closed like Monday, Tuesdays. So that way the people who work there have a day off. I have some days off, you know. Mm-hmm. You close Monday, Tuesdays. You're open Wednesday through Sunday.
Yeah.
You charge $20 a ticket.
Yeah.
You'd outmarket every other fucking haunted house in your area.
Absolutely.
On top of that, you make so much money, your production value is like through the roof. Mm-hmm. You're providing like Halloween Horror Nights effects all year round. So you have people all over the globe coming to your haunted house.
Yeah, you should have an escape room option and like a little bar / coffee shop.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Trademark. Sorry.
TM, patent pending.
Story 2.
Dancing like a bug feels better than dancing like a person.
Huh?
You know?
Huh?
Dancing like a bug.
How do you dance like a bug?
Kind of like, imagine this is my thorax.
Okay, I thought you meant like on all fours, like you doing that, but like on all fours.
Oh, yes, that would actually feel good too, yeah. Like it's basically a hip stretch and I would really get on that.
She said, this is my thorax. Okay, story 2. People in the U.S. military. What's the creepiest / most paranormal thing you've ever encountered during your service? Creepy at first, but ended in a facepalm. I was a young sergeant in 2006, stationed at Fort Bliss. Right outside of Fort Bliss was a training area that was near Biggs Airfield. We were guarding some equipment overnight so the company wouldn't have to stay. It was me and one private. I told him he would take shifts patrolling, and since we were allowed to have cars out there, the other would nap in his car. I woke up to my soldier knocking on my window in complete panic. It scared me at first. The private said, "Sergeant, wake up. There are UFOs out here." I said, "What?" Private points in the direction, and sure as shit, I see these lights that seem like they were floating around and then disappearing. It took me a moment as I had just woken up. That's the Franklin Mountain Range. You're looking at cars driving on the scenic route. The cars would be visible and then disappear when they went around the corner of a turn, only to appear again and when they came back around. I was very agitated at first, but the next day, it was by far the funniest experience that I had in the military.
Poor guy. He's like sitting there alone, dark. He's like, is that a fucking UFO?
He's like, these lights just keep passing. What's going on?
No other thought in his head, just like, this is very clearly a UFO.
Yeah, those two lights that keep going like this.
Yeah.
That's a UFO, right?
Yeah.
See, I would think eyeballs if it was like two
spooky.
lights like that. Yeah, it would be. But my thing, I'm like, how did he not see the red tail lights?
I don't know.
Yeah, you know?
That's a good question.
He's got blindness, UFO blindness.
I think he may have been abducted at some point. He's like, I knew they were going to come back for me.
Oh, yeah, the trauma's just there. He's like, I got probed one too many times.
They're back!
Dude, it's wild to me how many people long to be probed.
You know what I mean, though? Like, I know exactly what you mean. It's just like the sentence structure of it. They long to be probed, which they do. It's a deep, intense longing.
There is literally a whole, like, fetish involving being probed and canoodled by aliens.
Not
like,
to yuck someone's yum, but I do not have that desire.
No.
That is not...
Jasmine and I have seen the egg dispenser toys.
Yeah. It makes me feel very uncomfortable, but I'm so happy for you if you're using them.
I want to know if any of our listeners do use them. Do you use them? And
can
if so,
email us.
What does it look like?
What is that?
Because I don't understand. I like genuinely thinking about an egg being deposited. I'm like, would that feel like the opposite of taking a shit?
I feel like it would, right?
Yeah, because it's like, never mind. If you don't like that, skip that part.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to describe what I imagine that would feel like.
Yeah. There is I'm sure it's a bit in a South Park episode, but I don't remember if it is or not. But in one of the South Park video games, there's like a whole subplot that the aliens are like probing you over and over again. But like the probe has a dildo like attached to the end of it. So like some of the people that are like tied up are like, yes, more.
You're like, oh no.
And then some of them are like, no, please stop. But then like it flashes to the other room and it's like, yeah, more. And I imagine that's like how a spaceship would actually be like. You know? Like they're like picking up all of the. So here's what I think. I think that they go after all of the people who are in sparse communities and in the like countryside, where all the like hillbillies live, because they know that all of those guys are closeted gay men.
They're like, I'm gonna give you what you.
I'm gonna give you exactly. I'm gonna try to show you
right up that little butthole.
Your wife doesn't have to do it anymore. I'll do it for you.
No, she can do it too. Let's go.
Yeah, all of us together.
Hop on the ship. Let's probe your husband.
Alien orgies.
How fun.
We have Bigfoot orgies. We have alien orgies. What's next?
What is next?
Night shifters and paranormal ghost orgies.
Ghost orgies.
Okay,
orgies.
If you had a, we'll never mind. I'll bring it up.
If you had to have an orgy,
would it be with an alien, it's Bigfoot, a ghost, or the Loch Ness monster? No, don't answer. We have to get through the rest of the story.
Okay.
We have to see who really like has the best thing going on. You know. Who's working it the most?
Yeah.
I really think we should read the doorknob book.
I was thinking about the doorknob book yesterday. I think we should too. Yeah, because I was like, imagine the doorknob didn't turn into a man, so you're just a woman who fucked a doorknob.
Yeah. And I mean, you know what? Fair.
There's some really curvy doorknobs.
You gotta get your rocks off somehow. Like
I have doorknob questions. Is it like a round doorknob? Does it have a handle?
Ooh, it's like.
Is it like one of those like Victorian crystally ones? Seems rough.
Just flop right.
I was like, ew.
I'm gonna say something. Oh, have you seen? Sorry, this episode's really sexual for no reason. Have you seen the ads on TikTok? And I really hope you have, because I hope I'm not gonna out myself right now. Suction cup shoots it out.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Cool.
Yep. Story 3.
Okay.
So why is our audience men talks about masturbating, getting sucked and fucked
by a doorknob?
Yeah. And they're like, I never knew she liked doorknobs like that.
I can be a doorknob. I am a doorknob because I'm stupid.
I'm just so fucking dumb. You know, my last girlfriend said I was a doorknob because everyone got a turn. I didn't know what that meant. But now I know. It's because it's your turn, baby.
Oh, you opened the door to my heart.
And
my pants.
Could you imagine if pants instead of zippers, it was doorknobs?
It's like a little door. Yeah. It's like, you have to go like this to like open it.
Knock, knock.
It's got, one of those, the like old.
The little knockers.
Yeah, the old Renaissance-y knocker.
It's got a Ring camera. They're like, just leave the package at the front door. We're not. Just leave it. Just leave it.
I don't really want to come out right now. I feel really threatened. Okay.
Why are you here? Story 3. Night shifters. Ever witnessed a paranormal activity? If so, what was it? My contact went wonky. Okay, we'll start checking.
On the camera, your eye just goes like this.
Yeah, it's this one. I used to intern. That's not what it says. I used to intern in a recording studio in New York City years ago, where it was technically open 24/7, meaning there was always someone there, whether clients were in or not. Anyway, it was on an upper floor of a building, and due to the amount of expensive equipment inside, you could not access any floor by elevator without someone letting you up. The button for that floor was locked out, so you couldn't press it from inside the elevator. There was a camera at the front entrance downstairs, another elevator entrance, and one inside of the elevator, all of which could be viewed from the front desk of the studio, so that when people arrived, you buzz them in, wait until you saw them enter the elevator, and you would have to push the button for the studio floor to bring the elevator up. I don't know what I read.
You got it.
But it was words.
They are basically saying there's no button inside the elevator. Yeah. They have to like let them.
I feel like they could have just said that.
Yeah. that would have been an easier way to say that. But
I was like, are you trying to say?
They can't let themselves up.
Yeah. Well, anyway, one of the nights while I was working the overnight shift, it was just me and another dude doing some cleaning, maintenance, etc. When we hear the elevator starting to run, probably at like 3:30 in the morning. The whole building is all offices, so there's really nobody in the building past 6 p.m. besides us. So we thought it was a bit strange. The other guy looks at the camera and there's nothing at all. No one in the elevator either. So although it's weird, we figure someone just must still be in the building and called it from a different floor. It made sense until all of a sudden, we see it stop at our floor, and we hear the door ding. We're both in the lobby about 15 feet away from the elevator, and we give each other the hardest what the fuck stare ever. I can't explain how much I didn't want those doors to open. We stare at it like a deer in the headlights, completely motionless as the doors open. Nobody is there, no one pushed the button, nothing. We both keep staring, completely still and silent, and it becomes really fucking creepy as the time goes on and the doors don't shut, as if something is standing in the doorway blocking the sensor. The doors usually close after 5 seconds or so, but we stared at it for a good 20-30 seconds before they closed and the elevator returned back to the lobby. We stared for a bit longer and simultaneously looked at each other, saying, "What the fuck, dude?" The next day, we asked a couple of other guys about it, and one of the guys said the same thing happened to him in the middle of the night when he was by himself, and he almost shit himself. Maybe there's a logical explanation for it, elevator malfunction, but it was really damn freaky, since the place is generally kind of creepy at night, and there have been some other weird things.
I imagine it's like the ghost of a dead studio recording artist, and they were like, all right, back to the grind. They like let themselves up, and they open the elevator, and they're like, I'm back, baby! And all of the security guards are just like, and he's just standing in the elevator, he's like, what?
Wait, do I have something on my face?
Yeah, do you guys not want me here? Like, what's going on? What, can you guys not see me? You know what? Fuck this place. I'm going somewhere else. And, like, gets back in the elevator.
I knew you weren't shit.
I have another artist, recording studio down the line anyway, so.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's funny.
That
was a pretty
That's
funny
pretty
joke.
good. That was pretty good joke. I like that. I'm going to be thinking about that later, being like,
Yeah, that's what it was.
like
That's
that.
what it was.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I would do if I was a ghost recording artist.
yeah. Just be like, what's up, rise and grind, ladies and gentlemen.
It's 3 a.m. It's where I get my most creative hour. You know, the juices are flowing. It's the witching hour, and I wouldn't know that because I'm a ghost. There was, whenever I worked at theme parks, so I worked at the Six Flags. I guess I can say this because I don't work there anymore, but I worked at the Six Flags in New Jersey, which is like the largest Six Flags in the country.
Whoa.
Because of the square footage or whatever, because they have like a safari
Okay.
thing. But I was friends with a few of the security guards who worked night shifts, and one of them told me that they all like have the same experiences with this ghost, because there's a story of this girl who like walked into the pond and died. I was trying to think of the nicest way to say that. Anyway, she walked into the pond, she died.
Okay.
Oopsie. But there's a ghost there.
Yeah.
So there's a few different ghost things there. But this one is the one that they all, like, collectively have seen.
Yeah.
But they see her walking through the park in a dress in the middle of the night.
Weird.
And then walk into the pond. And they've all seen
Spooky.
it. And so they just call her the Lady of the Lake.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah, so that I always thought was freaky. The other thing was there was this huge tragedy that happened in either the late 70s or the early 80s, where they used to have this, like, haunted house attraction up at the front. And a lot of the walls were made of polyurethane.
Okay.
Were coated with polyurethane, which, if you don't know, is extremely flammable. And it was just a series of unfortunate events, basically, where they had accidentally locked one of the fire exits, and, like, it was, like, chained shut. A bunch of kids, unfortunately, passed from a fire that started. Obviously, with me foreshadowing the flammable polyurethane coated walls.
That's how we know you're a good storyteller.
Exactly.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, foreshadowing. But yeah, a bunch of kids unfortunately died, and so one of the other things that people talk about hearing is kids laughing over in the front of the park, because that's where the haunted house used to be, was towards the front of the park.
Gotcha.
So some of the security guards would talk about how they heard laughing in the front of the park.
Don't like that.
Yeah, but super, super creepy stuff working as a night guard. I don't think I could do it. There's actually a movie based off working the night shift. This woman, I think it's at a precinct or something. I can't remember. I think it's a precinct. It's called The Last Shift.
Okay.
This good scary movie, if you ever want to watch like a actually scary movie. But it follows the same thing, where it's basically like she's working a night shift and a bunch of freaky stuff happens. But then the ending's really weird. I don't want to spoil it. The ending's really weird, but you're like, huh?
Okay.
This whole thing was for this? What?
Yeah.
Huh?
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Luckily, I haven't worked at any place that has, like, weird vibes.
Yeah.
So especially when we're slammed. I've just stayed overnight before.
Yeah.
It's just me in the office. I worry about, especially at the old building, people who are outside of the building.
Yeah, real
But
people.
never anything that was in the building.
Yeah.
It was totally fine.
Yeah. I don't think I have I know I've worked at places that are, like, creepy, but I've never had to work an overnight shift somewhere.
Gotcha.
So I think if I did, I'd be a big baby about it. I've worked wee into the morning. Like, I've worked, when I worked really, really crazy hours, I would sometimes work from, like, 7 a.m. until, like, 3 in the morning the next day.
Gotcha.
And and I'd have to be there, but I was always with other people. So I was never, like, by myself and got really spooked or anything, because I was always with other people.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm trying to think. I did do a stint when I had my first ever office job. I worked for a gas company, and I would get to the office at like 4 in the morning, and I was always the first person in the office. But it never really was, and I feel like I kind of did this to myself, because I would go in and I'd leave all the lights off.
Yeah.
So, but I never really was like super scared, because I kept doing it. You know, I would go into the office early in the morning. I would go work on my computer, and I'd leave all the lights off, because it was kind of nice, you know, like not having the fucking fluorescence over my head and sitting in my cubicle. Yeah. That's why I hate having the lights on in our office. Like, fluorescent lights give me such a headache, and I would rather sit in the dark than sit with a fluorescent light over my head.
Is it ridiculous that one of my deal breakers is being a big light person?
Oh, no. I agree. 100%. If I was with somebody that wanted the big light, I couldn't do it. No, because we never have big lights on.
No, like, I have so many lamps for a reason. Yeah. There's not that many square feet, and I have a lamp everywhere.
Yeah. The only big lights that we leave on are usually, like, when we're leaving, and we leave lights on for the animals. And even then, it's only the lights that have the warm light bulbs, like the Edison bulbs that we have in the main room. Like, we'll leave that one on. Yeah. Because it doesn't feel like a big light. Like, it's really, really soft lighting. It's not in your face. It's warm.
It's much more flattering, too.
It's glowy. Yeah. Yeah. But I'm definitely a lamp person only. We'll never, no big lights.
No.
Story 4. Nurses and doctors of Reddit, what's your weirdest, scariest paranormal stories that took place at work? There's probably some medical explanation for this, but still the weirdest thing I've seen as a nurse so far. We had a very robust, confused old lady on our floor. Her room was in front of the nurse's station so we could keep an eye on her. And we had one of our nurse's aides as a sitter too. She was always fighting, kicking, trying to get out of bed, very restless and agitated, as some patients I've had before can get before death. One day, we were called into the room as her heart rate was going down and she laid still with her eyes open. It was 30, 20, then it flatlined. We checked for a pulse and didn't find any. She was a DNR, so we didn't attempt to resuscitate. We closed her eyes, prepared for the body bag, and called the family. The sitter remains in there to start getting the body ready. Less than 10 minutes later, she calls us back in. The old lady is at it again, hitting, kicking, trying to get out of the bed. She came back to life. Honestly, we found the situation hilarious and still have never seen any patient come back like that on their own. I think she made it out of the hospital, too.
They're like, actually, you're not done. Take her soul and throw it back in the body. She's like,
yeah, like, literally, she went up to heaven or whatever, afterlife, and he was, like, they were like, and then she went down to hell, and they were like, so they were like, go back, get back up there, we're not ready for you yet. And she's like, gets back up there and she's so pissed. And she's like, let me out. I just want to live.
I was almost there. Do not resuscitate me. I was almost there.
Yeah, that's wild. But imagine, I want to know, I do genuinely want to know people's, like, death story. Like, we should do an episode on those. Yeah, people who have died and come back, because people see such crazy things. And I know it's a lot because your brain releases DMT. Mm-hmm. So a lot of it is like you're tripping balls when you die.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that people see all kinds of crazy stuff, but I want to know like how common and similar other people's death stories are, because that would be really interesting to see. But
I want a scientific study done with what people are seeing when they experience death, and then also I want their column to be what their background is.
Yeah, and what their
belief
is.
If you were raised Christian and then you're tripping balls at the end of your life,
you're gonna see God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're raised like XYZ, what are you seeing?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I know that, like, my stepmom, she was, like, obsessed with this book, and it made me cringe so hard. Even when I was younger, this book made me cringe really hard, because I was a Christian when I was younger, because I was raised in a really, really Christian household. So, I had no thoughts for myself. You know, I'm a kid. I can't make brain thoughts. So, when I became, like, a teenager, I moved out of Christianity. But whenever I was younger, there was this book about this kid who, like, died, and it came back, and he was like, Mom, like, I saw Grandpa, and the mom's like, you've never seen your grandpa, you don't even know what your grandpa looks like, you don't, like, and he described his grandpa, and it was, like, an exact replica of this, like, picture that she had or something, and she was like, oh my God, he actually did, he went to heaven, and it was, like, this whole thing, but
I thought you were going to say chicken noodle soup for the soul.
Oh, no, but my mom did make me read that. Looks at my mom watching this. No, but my stepmom was, like, obsessed with this book. And the whole time, like, whenever she tried to get me to read it, she's like, it'll move you. I'm like, this shit is lame as fuck. Yeah. Like, you're so lame for believing this. Like, Jesus, you would fall for the snake oil salesman, like, 100%. But
do you have any thoughts on what you, or like who you would have been in a past life?
I have sometimes, but I don't know, like, I don't know who I would have been, but I know that I have lived, because I've always been told, like, I have an old soul. Since I was little, like, people have told me that I have an old soul.
Yeah.
So I know that I have to have had lived many lives before this one, but I have no idea what I could have been. I feel like I definitely was a man at some point.
I think I was a man in my past life.
Yeah.
I think I lived in, like, Kansas or someplace like that. I played football. I died tragically, I'm pretty sure, based on my extreme love for Boys of Summer.
Okay.
There's no reason I should like that song that much.
Gotcha.
But all of this to say, my Nana believes that in her past life, she died on a submarine.
See, I've always thought about that and again, I don't know, like, how I lived, but I think in one or multiple of my past lives, I've died in a car crash by either going into a lake, like a body of water, or going off the side of a mountain.
Whoa.
So,
yep. Scary.
Yeah. So, because I have dreams about those two things all the time. I can't stand driving in the mountains, because I always am like, when we drive close to the edge, it freaks me out. So I definitely feel like that could have been something in my past life, but I don't know. I would be interested to talk to somebody that could tell me what happened in my past life. Yeah. So
I don't know if I don't think the palm reader that we had was probably the most accurate person, maybe.
Yeah, I think
say. But she's like, you've had a lot of past lives and you were mostly a man. Me complaining about having men followers. Me, a secret man.
Yeah, I feel like my crystal reader, she definitely was, like, very generic with all of her answers, so I can definitely, I don't know, like, some of them I believe are actual, like, sidekicks, and some of them I don't. Some of them I'm like, no.
This is just,
Yeah. This story does remind me, because they said that there was, like, a sitter. Have you seen, The Vigil?
The Vigil.
The Vigil. It's a movie on Hulu.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's still on Hulu, but
spooky. Look at him. Hey.
Yeah. So in Judaism, in the, like, Jewish culture, after somebody dies, there are, I believe it's 3 nights, or maybe it's 3 weeks. I don't.
It's like a substantial amount of time.
Yeah, there's an amount of time where they're in mourning, and basically they have to. Somebody has to sit and watch the body for an extended amount of time to make sure that they don't like come back, and also to like make sure that they make it to the spirit world. Essentially,
I don't like that. Okay.
Yeah, so there's always a person, like a vigil, who goes and watches the body. And there's like a specific name for it, but they sit overnight. And so somebody is sitting during the day, somebody's sitting at night, and they watch the body. And this horror movie I thought was like really cool because they dive into that really well.
Yeah.
But
cool. Spooky.
Yeah, but basically, as you can imagine in a scary movie, this guy is staying overnight and
things go awry.
Things go scary because the body isn't hidden either. Like, the body's out in the open.
Right.
So it's just like, usually it's just laying on a bed or like laying on a table.
See, I just have such an aversion for corpses.
As one does.
I just don't really enjoy that. I could never be charged with a crime that is murder because I wouldn't do it because I don't like bodies.
Yeah.
So even just like the baseline of this, I was like, I would be freaked out anyway. Throw in some paranormal. Sorry, Grandma, your soul's gonna have to rest somewhere because I'm out of here.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
I can't.
No. I would never, like, sit with a body for any amount of time. Like,
yeah. Well, like, I've only ever been to one open casket funeral. Mm-hmm. It was my grandpa, and it was very strange. I had to, like, disassociate.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't like that.
Yeah. I've only been to one funeral. I've been to, like, a memorial, but I've only been to, like, one funeral. And it was a closed casket funeral for my grandpa.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to, like, see him.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I can't imagine how I would do. Sometimes, and this is really sad, sorry guys, but sometimes I'm like, I get really scared about dying and, like, my loved ones dying, specifically any of my pets or Quentin, because I'm like, what if I wake up one morning and one of them is dead? Like, I don't know how to handle that.
I think about that a lot.
Yeah, I don't know how to handle that. Like, I don't know what I would do in the moment. Like, who do I call? What do I do? Like, with my pets, like, I don't call 911, right? But who do I call about my animal?
Bring up Bettina in this episode. She knows that because she had, growing up, like, a lot of, like, birds and ducks and chickens, and they had a farm, and she's more used to animals dying, and she was the one to, like, okay, we'll bury it and get it handled. So I'm like, hey, I'm a baby and I can't, but I love my pets, so I'm gonna give you a call and you're gonna help me figure this out.
I don't know.
I can't.
What I would do.
You know, I'm glad the scariest thing at our office is a mysteriously old pickle jar.
What about that old animatronic clown that's been in the office for a year?
Yeah, now that I think about it, I don't think I could handle anything more than that.
Yeah, but you know what I could handle more of? Followers. So you should like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that jazz on all of the social medias and all the listening platforms. You can find us at _the_pod on social medias. And if you would like to share your own story with us, you can email us at whatwasthat.thepod@gmail.com.
If we did have an office ghost, what do you think they would be like?
I really think that they would... Wait, what was that? We didn't answer the question of what we would want to sleep with, a ghost, an alien, or a Bigfoot.
Oh. Ghost. What's your answer?
I think Bigfoot.
Oh.
I don't know, man, because he'd be big and strong and could, like, throw me around, and, like, the hair would let me, like, grab onto something, and you know that he's, like,